Hi there and welcome back to another book review. Today we're talking about Will They or Won't They by Ava Wilder. If you're thinking of checking out Will They or Won't They yourself, you don't have to worry about spoilers in this video. The first part of my videos are always spoiler free, so you can see if this book is your cup of tea. After a quick summary and a basic review, I'll give a clear spoiler warning before going into a full summary and a deep dive into my thoughts and opinions. Here are some content warnings for Will They or Won't They by Ava Wilder. Will They or Won't They is an enemies to lovers romance book set in Hollywood. It follows two characters, Shane and Lila, who are battling an attraction to each other that lasts throughout the lifetime of their TV show, Intangible. When the show starts, the two of them fall into an intense, fast-paced fling, which Lila insists that's all it is and nothing more. When Shane has feelings that Lila can't or won't reciprocate, their romance goes up in flames and everyone on the show suffers. And they spend the better part of a decade dealing with layers of feelings, leaving their friends, fans, and family to wonder what the finale looks like for the two of them. Real quick, let's run through my rating system. 1 star means that I could not finish the book. 2 stars means that I struggled to finish, but I did. 3 stars means the book was okay, it was worth reading, I enjoyed it. 4 stars means I liked the book and I would recommend it to a friend. And 5 stars, which is my highest honor, means that I would read the book again. I gave Will They or Won't They a 4-star rating because I really enjoyed it and I would definitely recommend it if you're a fan of romance or enemies to lovers in particular. I thought the characters were nuanced and the romance between them was earnest and interesting. Another thing I appreciated about this romance book is that it felt devoid of a lot of the toxic themes that you can find in other romance books. If you read Will They or Won't They and you enjoyed it, you may also like Weather Girl by Rachel Lynn Solomon, You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogle, and Beach Read by Emily Henry. We are now entering the spoiler-filled part of this video, so if Will They or Won't They sounds like your cup of tea, now is the time to click away, go read it, and then come back so you can engage with my deep dive. If you like the sound of this book but you don't want to read it, don't worry, I'll give you the full rundown. Will They or Won't They opens up with Lila and Shane auditioning for the parts of Kate and Harrison in a supernatural TV show called Intangible. They have immediate chemistry and they're cast right away as the leading roles in the show. We then flash to several years later when Lila is returning to the show after several seasons away to film a movie. She never thought that she would be returning to Intangible, as she hoped the movie she made would lead her career down a more substantial path. But her movie flopped, and so did the show. And the book reads, despite their best efforts, the ratings had plummeted without her. Lila didn't let it go to her head. They'd be in the same situation if Shane had left instead of her. No matter how the two of them felt about each other when the cameras were off, it was the chemistry between their characters, Kate and Harrison, that made the show worth watching. She knew it, he knew it, the whole effing world knew it. This is particularly upsetting for Lila because she will have to work alongside Shane, who plays Harrison, the other main character in the show. While Lila is a professionally trained actor, having gone to acting school and wanting to be an actor for most of her life, Shane is something of a wonder boy. He was just working at a restaurant one day when the showrunner for Intangible saw him and invited him to come audition. This will be the last season of Intangible, and the network is bringing Lila back in hopes to boost the ratings. Right away, it's clear to everyone that Lila and Shane are not cut out to be working together. They struggle to get through their scenes, and they both take little jabs at one another. The showrunner, Walt, insists that the two of them go to couples counseling to work through these issues. They start the therapy sessions and bring up the old issues that kept them apart and start to learn how to communicate with one another. During a risque photo shoot for the show, they're forced to get intimately comfortable with one another again, and this is when we find out that Shane still has his half of the couples tattoo they got when they were together during season 1. They had drunkenly gotten these tattoos together, and when they woke up the next morning, Lila insisted she would have hers removed while Shane didn't want to. These tattoos were the catalyst that ended their relationship. Lila accuses him of thinking the relationship is more than it is, and then breaks up with him. Here's a quote from the scene. Lila sometimes felt like she was walking around with a snake coiled in her belly, just waiting for her to open her mouth, ready to strike at the slightest provocation. She knew she was out of control. Skin flushed, heart beating wildly, regret already brewing in that distant part of her mind that held her better judgment. As filming goes on, Lila tries to make friends with the other actors, some of whom are not very excited to see her back. Lila comes to his birthday party, and while talking to another person on the show, Shane admits the biggest reason he can't stand Lila, because she slept with his brother. Even though he's still upset about this, the two of them continue to grow closer as they continue their therapy and work together on the show. Shane even hugs Lila before a talk show appearance to help her calm down, microphone and speaks up when the talk show host makes a sexist comment toward her. At yet another party, Shane and Lila get close to kissing, and this is when Shane discovers that Lila didn't actually sleep with his brother. Through a flashback, we see Shane remembering the day he found out that Lila was leaving the show. When she comes to his trailer to tell him, the two of them have a frenzied hookup, during which Shane thinks that he loves her, and then he thinks that he hates her. In the present, the cast flies to Canada to film some intense episodes with a guest director. The guest director turns out to be a total jerk and a creep, and he even calls Lila a slur when she tries to speak out against the unfair filming conditions. Shane tries to hit him, but Lila pulls him back, and when filming is wrapped up and the guest director leaves, everybody from the cast rents a house together so they can all cook and eat Thanksgiving dinner. Lila and Shane end up staying alone in the house for the night, and all they do is cuddle. Shane remarks that they have passed the sex without feelings part of their relationship, and they're now in the feelings without sex portion. They're still trying to navigate their feelings for one another, even as their characters in the show share a monumental kiss. Lila convinces Shane to accept an invitation to the book's version of Saturday Night Live, and when he goes, it ends up being a complete disaster. While she's watching him bomb terribly, Lila decides that she's ready to be in a relationship with him, and she comes up with a plan. To distract everyone from the humiliation of how terrible he was at hosting the show, Lila and Shane kiss on live television to cement their relationship and announce it to the public. They finally hook up in present day, and afterwards they talk about their relationship, with Lila saying, "I think we needed it. We weren't ready for each other back then. We both had some growing up to do." They're doing one last panel for the show when someone comes up and asks if the rumors are true and if they are planning to renew the show for more seasons. The showrunner admits that the network is considering it just because of how much attention Lila and Shane's relationship has been getting. Lila panics because she does not want to do the show any longer, and Shane also panics because he feels like the show is the only thing he's ever been good at. The story cuts away after this confrontation between the two of them to a news article explaining that they've broken up yet again. We see Shane at the final wrap party for the show, watching Lila from across the room. He and Walt have a discussion about how it was inevitable that they would break up again, and that it's probably best for everyone if the show doesn't continue. Immediately after the party, we find out that this is an act and it's all fake, as Shane goes up to Lila's room and the two of them talk about how they've been able to successfully fake their breakup. Shane has decided he wants to go back to school for psychology, and Lila is booked in a new TV show. The story ends with Lila revealing that she got her half of the couple's tattoo back on her hip. Okay, so now that you know everything that happened in Will They or Won't They, it's time to get into some of my praise and criticism for this book. First, a bit of praise I have for this is something that I look at in every romance book, and that is how realistic and uncringy the intimate scenes are. This book is fairly spicy, so if you're someone who enjoys more sweet or clean romances, this probably won't be for you, but I did enjoy those scenes and I thought that they were well done and they did not make me cringe. Poorly written, intimate scenes can kind of take you out of the book, so I was glad that these were done well. I also appreciated that I thought the book really did a good job in making me wonder if the two of them were actually going to end up together. I think the inclusion of therapy and their reflection on their past relationship and their growth as characters allowed me to be okay with the possibility of an ending where they didn't end up together, and that we could just appreciate what their relationship had done for them. I honestly might have preferred if the book had ended that way, because it would have been maybe a little bit refreshing and a switch up from the norm, but I'm also okay with the way that it did end. I also liked that Will They or Won't They took a unique approach to rebuilding their relationship, and I thought the inclusion of the therapy sessions was very mature, and I loved how far away it was from a lot of the miscommunication or man-child tropes that we often see in a lot of romance books. Another just bit of general praise I have is that I genuinely thought the writing was very good. It's not too simplistic, but it's also not too flowery or descriptive. I thought that it did a really good job of hitting a good balance and just making it easy to read along. I honestly just don't have that much complaint for this book. My only critique would be that sometimes the self-reflection and inner monologues got to be a little too long for me, and at some points did slow down the pace, but it wasn't to an extent that it really ruined the book. All in all, I liked Will They or Won't They by Ava Wilder. I will be recommending it to my friends who enjoy romance, and I would definitely recommend it to you if you like enemies to lovers. If you're interested in seeing what I'm reading next, you can check out the description below, you can follow me on Instagram, or you can add me as a friend on Goodreads. These are some of the titles I might be doing reviews on in the future, so if you want to read them, you can check out the links in my description. Thanks for watching!